Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Paladins Open Bracket Qualifiers. My name is Rene. This is Hi-Rez Pretty Hair. We're catching up with the second semifinal. Before we do that, though, we've got some cool promos coming out for you. The Valentine's Chest, even though you may have already had Valentine's Day, gone on a wonderful date, walk on a sunset beach with your lover or your soon-to-be, you have the opportunity to then or lovers, excuse me. I don't want to be, thank you, production. I don't want you to think that it's all over there. No, the fun, the excitement, the anticipation can continue with the Valentine's Chest. You can find yourself some cool skins, a Sky Epic outfit there, a lot of things to
keep.
Just
be a general good person and buy
Keep the heat going. Keep it spicy.
That's right.
Yeah. Have some fun, huh? I made some lava cakes for Valentine's Day, by the way. They were pretty good.
You're about that, dude.
Is
that difficult? Like, what's the process? How do you do it?
It is very difficult because you have to melt the outside of the chocolate and keep the inside. So it's all about perfection of like when you pull it out. Because
Valentine's Day. It's all about when you pull out.
All right, let's move on to the map screen. I set myself up for that one.
Got him.
I set myself up for that one. I did. Can we get a map screen? Hot damn!
Can I get a map screen?
All right, it's time to take a look at where we will be playing. It is Team Eager versus AGG. Timber Mill, Frozen Guard, banned out yet again, and it will be Stone Keep, where we just ended the last set, where we start this one.
Absolutely. Here, I'm excited. I don't think we've seen Eager and AGG clash just yet. AGG have been on a hot streak, frankly, recently, but Team Eager, I think their leverage of Torvald as we get into the champion draft has been their saving grace in a lot of situations. It's been phenomenal. It's been great to support. Bitey has been, I feel like, the earliest adopter of the character, the earliest proponent of it. He's, and that gives Eager the edge, right? They have the most knowledge inside and out of the character.
Yeah, so, I mean, we'll see if AGG value it, if they value it enough. There's no ban phase, right? So the opportunity for them to say, okay, we want to take a Torvald means we got to play a Torvald. And, of course, that doesn't necessarily fit into their strategy because they're coming in with a whole different idea. Maybe they are really more open to just countering. EU had that mentality. Now they're kind of adopting Torvald as well. But they used to just say, hey, we know how to counter him. You play him against us, we'll just wreck you. The
EU drafts were crazy yesterday, and they've been pretty tame thus far today in North America. But I think Eager, if the draft's going to get mixed up today, it's probably going to start here with Eager because they're a team that they're not really afraid to kind of go there and to kind of pull out that stuff that maybe you're not. And there's value in that. When you haven't played against something a lot, it's difficult for you to do so. And a couple of interesting response. I almost say first picks, right? Because first pick's always Makoa, so it's cool to just like talk about the pick after Makoa.
Exactly.
So Shaolin and Droxus here is a pretty interesting way to start things off, especially on Stone Keep.
Yeah.
Where we don't see a lot of Androxus.
Well, looking at, I think we have PrinceDannyTV on the squad, and
that's very true.
Really
just
likes
like we haven't seen a lot of Fernando, but then Wardoom.
Exactly. So we like to see these players on their comfort picks. Very well known for his Androxus. Maldamba for Eager, again. This is a very strong draft. They've got Makoa, they've got Torvald, they've got Maldamba. Fernando's going to come out, but dealing against Makoa, against Fernando, Makoa a lot of times wins that battle, unless it's some crazy Wardoom stuff. Now they've got the Torvald to take away the shields. It's going to be really hard for him to have some sustain. I think AGG are going to go for maybe either let's push the damage or let's try and keep this Fernando alive.
I agree. And playing Fernando into Torvald, it introduces that delicate dance where you have to be very careful. You have to watch the recharge cooldown. You can't be a battery for Torvald's personal shield with Fernando shielded because that's the best one to do. It's got the most HP. It's the easiest for Torvald to drain. So very careful when you use that. And it's been such a clutch part of Wardoom, especially using that character.
This bomb pick, this could be everything. I mean, it's so hard to really accurately talk about the value of a Bomb King because somebody comes in and plays so well with this guy, and Torvald could be just nothing. He could be absolutely melted by an excellent who hits all his shots Bomb King and be out of the fight, not an issue. We'll see if Rovaniik can continue his ways of how impressive he was last weekend in this same matchup. ElZulu will be on the Fernando, Grapple on the Shaolin, Bubble Boy on the Ying. Shout out to Bubble Boy there. PrinceDannyTV as well on the Androxus.
They have a lot of wrecker on that AGG squad. We'll see how Bitey's personal shield on the Torvald will hold up Wi-Fi shell shield. Can that weather the storm? stolzey on Cassie, Awry Going for the Chronos first on Maldamba, and ShadeeyShades rounding things out with the only wrecker for this squad.
And it's on Gank. Does a lot of damage per shot, so that's going to be solid. And of course, Rovaniik will be a little bit more defensive here in his approach. And look at this damage already. Just so effective. Throws the Poppy Bomb out right away and lands one mid-air, detonating it right on top of Wi-Fi, who is now running for his life. He could have a hook available, but Rovaniik around the corner. I got you, buddy. And the Bomb King controlling this map again and helping to control space, just serving Awry up on a platter, or so he thought. PrinceDannyTV gets caught out there, and the Snake stays alive as well as Cassie.
You thought that 50 HP health buff wasn't going to help you out there. Maldamba makes it out. Grumpy Bomb on the point. Bitey doesn't have any shield. There's the recharge. Comes out in the face of the Fernando shield, the protection bubble onto Wi-Fi to keep him safe. After grappling in Grapple with the Dredge Anchor, he takes down 72% on the point and climbing for Eager.
Absolutely nothing to do when you get pulled in, hit with a bonus shot from Makoa, silenced by a Torvald and disarmed in the process. Of course, when that Makoa also has a shield on him, it's just injury to insult there. And that's a clear injury on the side of a team Eager. They will lose 2 thanks to Rovaniik and Grapple, and Bubble Boy and squad will have a little bit of success here, but not before stolzey can find a kill of his own. A great hook by Wi-Fi, gonna set stolzey up. He needs to hit this shot. Bubble Boy looking to finish him off, and he will. Still on the point is Bubble Boy, making sure that he's contesting for Team AGG, and he buys enough time for ElZulu to get back.
Bubble's a master at you know, wiggling back and forth in between his clones, using them to body block, staying alive, and Ying can pump out decent damage over time. She can win that fight.
And she did right there. And of course, this is why we even see AGG contesting back in the day of Paladins. You could see this entire experience wouldn't have been possible, of course, because of the Hyper Beam coming through. It means that Eager have this kind of clutch trump card in their pocket. But of course, Bob King, he's always had this in his pocket. He detonates 2, but he gets detonated by ShadeeyShades. And that Eevee, this play from Eager is looking too good, too consistent, too controlled, and they will capture the first objective.
That was actually very close. If Rovaniik puts a 3rd bomb on Wi-Fi, he might have died there. Instead of just getting the 2 bombs on, letting him to get unstunned and come back with the Ancient Rage, swings the team fight around. Dread Serpent still available to keep this push going. AGG only have the Heat Haze, so they spent a lot, but Eager still come out on top of the surprise plan. It isn't going to be good. Onto Awry, the Gord comes down, trying to keep stolzey alive as he was forced off the high ground.
Great stuff. stolzey falls, though, to Grapple, unfortunately. Bubble Boy helping to have a Gank clone there, and Rovaniik playing out of his mind yet again. Just so clutch on this Bomb King, making sure he hits what he needs to. But Awry, he's won a duel before. Will he win another one? Rovaniik instinctively aware of where to Poppy Bomb, not even facing the direction, and finds himself in a safe corridor for now, staving off any defense. Wi-Fi looks for the hook, but just out of range is PrinceDannyTV. Team Eager looking to push. 1 minute and 32 seconds still on the clock. Ice Storm coming out.
That was just a real bad accursed arm. Straight up. There's really no other way to cut that hook onto Rovaniik. Gonna take him down. ShadeeyShades with a double there. ElZulu's caught out in a rough spot as well. Away from his team, he's going to fall to stolzey as well. 2 members remain from AGG to try and hold this push off for the time being. Team Eager still holding on to that Dread Serpent here, so they're probably looking to punch this through off the back of that ultimate.
ShadeeyShades in mid-air takes out PrinceDannyTV. Rovaniik kind of trying to find Eevee, but Eevee's going to have the first shot at him, but misses all 3, unfortunately.
It's so hard to hit people that aren't looking at you.
Yeah, because you can't predict where they're going. And of course, you see there, the kill finally does come. Immortal stalls this push for a little bit longer, and stolzey picks up one in the back line. That's huge onto his Bow Brother counterpoint. Has the blast shot available, going to dodge roll and help to finish off ElZulu in the process. It's all up to Eager to be the ones that can finish these staggering players from AGG and put them back to base, and they've done so, giving them a 2-0 lead.
And they didn't use that Dread Serpent that they've been sitting on for so long here, so a lot left in the tank for Team Eager. They get it done without needing too much in the way of ultimates. Double resilience coming out, triple resilience actually. ShadeeyShades just picks up his as well. Doesn't want to be stunned out here. A couple of things. The Impaler Arrow from Grapple, the Grumpy Bomb from Rovaniik, the King Bomb from Rovaniik, hell, even the Poppy Bomb is going to be negated by this item.
I love it. I feel at home. I feel bliss. You know, Resilience finally seeing its day. I think Eager have completely owned and just said, we love this item, because the difference between getting hit with a Grumpy Bomb or not, sometimes you can control it, sometimes you're just forced to take the overtime, but being stunned for 3 seconds or 0.3 seconds is the difference in your life in that fight, and that is why they have Resilience, and they'll be upgrading that to Resilience 3 if possible. We see Elvenpath even go for Resilience and the Rejuvenate to get a very efficient build that gets you a lot of stats that those frontliners can use so well, don't want to get stopped. Positioning and supporting their teams, being where they need to be in the fight. ElZulu finally aggresses on. There's the shield up, and they don't have a wreck, or stolzey at least. He's got the cauterize though, so Bubble Boy's healing will not be as effective, but he runs right into Rovaniik's bombs, while Wi-Fi is able to clean up the king himself. Bitey just shielding Awry, keeping him alive, and just keeping an eye on all of his teammates to make sure they stay nice and healthy.
ShadeeyShades is having a dominant game right now, just finding kill after kill, a lot of times by himself and a lot of times off the back of Wi-Fi. So it's 18 streak for the EV player right now. Getting into the back line, wisely goes into the ice block. One more bomb from Rovaniik's gonna do it, but it will be Bubble Boy contributing with that mirror laser beam.
Look at Rovaniik still. I don't even understand how Rovaniik stayed alive. It's because of the Ying clone as well and the lack of focus. stolzey picks up 2. ElZulu though looking to stay alive and finish stolzey. Finally, Bitey is there. Awry with a great reload stun, but he will fall thanks to PrinceDannyTV. The BM emote doesn't come out this time though, because ShadeeyShades kills him before he can respond. Bitey so low, and that means no more protections in this fight. That's a big deal. AGG may have swung this momentum into their favor, at least for the time being.
They need to get some pressure onto Bubble Boy right now. He's just dropping clones into this fight, free firing, under absolutely no pressure. ShadeeyShades finally snuffs him out, but here comes the King Bomb from Rovaniik. Once again, big stun onto the point, but he goes down. Resilience, boys.
Keeps him alive. Wi-Fi able to finish off Rovaniik. No bombs for you, he says. And the objective captured for Team Eager. So that right there is the power of Resilience, especially against this kind of counter pick, this pick that is, you know, Bomb King. That can be so effective. We've seen Rovaniik, but hinges so much on getting the King Bomb stuns, bursting down the tanks who are then stunned, getting the Grumpy Bomb zoning, having that be a threat. If that becomes less and less of a threat, less game, towards the end of the game, Rovaniik becomes less and less of a valuable pick with this Bomb King.
Already on the back foot, AGG retreating to the area immediately surrounding their spawn room as the payload rounds its final corner, about to break the base. So Eager just being in favor of taking a lot of positioning there. There's the dredge anchor. ShadeeyShades is there to follow it up. He's been there almost every time. That's such a powerful, high impact hook that comes through. That's over 2,000 burst damage with the shot from Eevee, combined with the bonus damage from Mako here. Grapple goes into the planet here just to shred through the shell shield, but with those Torvald bubbles here, Wi-Fi is more than happy to take that 1v1.
These are bad fights for AGG to be taking, and I don't think this is good decision-making coming out from them. Rovaniik in particular, you think you can burst down these targets, but you don't have the stun advantage on them anymore. The Grumpy Bomb's less and less of an issue, and if you try to detonate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bombs, and meanwhile you're dodging and hiding as well, you aren't going to have the opportunity to kill him before his dredge anchor comes up and he bursts you down. This should be the end of the game. Shaolin jumps down in the heat haze though, so buy them a little bit of time. AGG have one last chance to stall. The stun comes out, but in sweet, I think just victory. Eager claim this one 4-0.
That was a great hyper beam from Bitey over there on the side, getting the payload even closer there. There was a very small window in which AGG had to defend there, and like you mentioned, they had to send the Shaolin and the Bomb King down in heat haze. Grapple the only one pulling a lot of weight there. 13-11 on the Shaolin. A lot of damage coming out from Rovaniik there onto the double front line. He was landing good shots there in that game, but top damage goes to ShadeeyShades. 28-2 on this EV 18 streak. Absolutely phenomenal game.
He did have a great game. And as we head to the next maps, I want to just mention this thing as well about Rovaniik. 53,000 damage. I think the decision for Resilience, it's because Bomb King's bombs and his stuns are very effective, and if they hit you, it could be very bad for a team composition. But more so, I think they played to the game, not the idea, right? I mean, I think if Shaolin is having 53,000 damage, having the same impact Rovaniik is, maybe those are havens. But I think they realize Rovaniik is beating us. Rovaniik's the one we want to counter here. So we'll pick up the Resilience because, hey, we like this pick. It helps with Shaolin, but really we can't let Rovaniik go off like he's been doing. He's the game changer.
A lot of what King Bomb is looking to do, right? It's not even to get right under you and get all 2,500 of that damage. It's just utilizing that stun to get the couple of follow-up bombs there, and that's what Resilience was largely preventing in that game. Eager answer the Makoa pick with a Fernando and a Maldaba this time.
And I don't mind the Fernando coming out from Eager, especially with their propensity to take Torvald. AGG have not shown that similarly, though. And will they go for it in their first 3 picks? This is a question mark they've got to answer here. This is where Eager's going to be looking to pick some information off. What do they value? What are they looking towards? Drogo's a safe pick, but again, not looking to directly counter what Eager want to do. So they're going to pretty much have the ability to run kind of the same exact comp that they did.
This is a switch up here from AGG, and they like to kind of substitute the Bomb King for the Drogos, I feel, in a lot of ways. But Drogos is safer, I feel like. He's doing his poking from a distance. He's hitting the shields just as hard. I mean, King Bomb, you don't have to put yourself in the fight, whereas a Dragon Punch, you kind of just guaranteed that kill, right? Resilience can't help you there. Haven can't, nothing can help you survive a Dragon Punch, except Fernando Ultimate. They do have the Fernando on their side.
And that is a very important pickup for them. The Ruckus not taken notably in these games where we've seen Ruckus have a huge impact in especially North America and Europe. So not really favored. Bubble Boy on the Ying, I think that's a great decision. Whether it's the best healer or not, of course, you only have Grok, Pip, or Grover to choose from at this point. I think Ying is just great to keep Bubble Boy feeling confident. He's been playing extremely well
his comfort pick,
on this comfort pick. And if you can get it, why not? Here's the Victor.
Bitey loves his Victor.
And it can definitely be valuable. I mean, if you have Cassie, Maeve, and Victor running at you, and they're just coming at you from different directions.
There's no flank pressure on AGG.
It could be a lot.
There's no flank pressure, frankly, and there's a couple of good ways to deal with the double frontliner, right? So you can go for the Drogos, but AGG have got that. And Victor's a good answer, frankly, to the double frontliner, especially when there is no front. It's just more situational. Drogos, a lot of times, why we see him more often than not, is because there's a lot less counter picks to the Victor, or to the Drogos, excuse me, than the Victor. You really need kind of that Eevee or that Maeve to get in the back line and really tear things up, but AGG don't have that. They've got Prince Danny on Shaolin, Bubble Boy on Ying, Grapple on Ruckus, Rovaniik on Drogos, and ElZulu. No one that's really going to be filling that hard dive role.
And I could see Eager actually bringing out in a similar situation in the future. Maybe a Tyra. I don't know. I feel like they might throw some interesting stuff out there as well. They like to be the talk of the town as well. D69 pulling out the Tyra yesterday with Perdo. I think we could see something if they continue to kind of have great performances against AGG. But this matchup is tight. It's a semifinal. They're all going to be going back and forth here. It won't always be a walk in the park 4-0, especially if AGG have anything to say about it. Good zone coming out from Wi-Fi, though, in the back line. Rovaniik, though, just doesn't have the opportunity to really impact the fight yet with his damage. But there it is. PrinceDannyTV allows himself to pick up the pieces. Rovaniik still alive, and now this Dragon can start to do some work.
Eager don't have the front liner, so they can't get onto the point just yet. They have to give it up to AGG for the time being. 39% and climbing with the Ruckus parked safely on the point here. Rovaniik getting healed up. He's going to have to retreat for the time being. Under 1,000 HP. Nice grenade from Bitey. Another one comes out. That Grenadier card starting to pay dividends. And Bitey able to clean him up. Cleans up 2, in fact. This Victor pick, when it's not under pressure, it's going to pump out so much damage.
Oh, almost hits the grenade on PrinceDannyTV. And look at this. Aim down sights damage. He is able to get some eliminations, some assists off of a lot of those kills and take control back for Eager. 78%, now 84 on the objective. It is up to AGG to pull themselves back onto it, and I'm not sure they're going to have enough time to do so. In fact, they will elect to just pull back and set their defenses up as Eager move ahead 1-0 in this game. So 5 unanswered points here.
And they've got to leave the Ruckus on the point and send the Makoa after this victory. The Makoa and the Drogos are their most two mobile. Makoa's not, the most mobile guy, but in this AGG lineup, it turns out that he is. So they got to do something for Bitey right now. This is like similar to Bugsy's Kinessa, right? The difference here in just free firing under 0 pressure, it just can't happen. Bitey is he's gonna break 100,000 damage in this game with ease, no matter how long it goes. There's so much clumping happening right now. The barrages are gonna be big as well. He's finding so much damage from his grenade resets. Like, look at this, bro. This is straight free firing. Finally an answer.
And I think that's more a result of his poor position. I think he went down and just got confident. PrinceDannyTV catches him off guard, activates a Hexa Heat Haze, and actually ends up putting him under pressure. But stolzey smells it out, and so does ShadeeyShades, and again
Nice.
continues. Look at this reset. 9 lives gives him the healing. Double kill.
Jeez.
Brown, will he stay alive? No. Bubble Boy comes to answer the call that his team needed, and that was a huge swing. But here's the Dread Serpent. The 20% damage amp means Makoa goes down, and he's going to look for the stun off the reload. Dread Serpent so powerful in that fight, just fearing the enemies and allowing stolzey the type of room he needed to take Bubble Boy 1v1 Cassie versus Ying in the back and make sure he cleaned up their healer. So now 5 seconds without any healing. This push is almost at its precipice. It's up to Eager right now, I think, to make it happen.
Wi-Fi taking a lot of damage, however. Gonna be tough to push his way back out into this double front line, into that ruckus. Eager only have a couple of ultimates here, Midnight and Immortal. Nothing really to punch this one through. Bitey goes down, that's a lot of their team fight damage. stolzey is here, but all he's got is the scout and his crossbow. Hooked in his Wi-Fi. That's not going to be good if he goes down, but he is able to narrowly escape around the corner. But the rockets from Rovaniik says no more. This man cannot retreat. And just great use of that mobility, keeping up. Rovaniik has to fill in. He is the most mobile champion on AGG's roster right now. He has to be the one to chase these kills down.
Pretty interesting watching that from a Rise perspective as well. Of the healer just flailing, reaching out.
He should have slithered.
Please, you know, it's like.
He should have slithered in there and took it for his tank.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like watching the helplessness.
Bird would have done it.
Somebody you were trying to heal. Bird wouldn't have. Bird doesn't die. He wouldn't have given up.
You're right.
That's 20 cents in the deal
like,
right there.
Feels like you bitch. That's 20 cents.
He's going to be healing up right now, though. Gord will fall down, and he's looking for stuns. Awry just surveying the battlefield as the reload stun attempts to go down and just wanting to see where exactly should he prioritize throwing it. A great Dread Serpent from Awry is going to clean up so much. Bubble Boy finds himself still alive in this fight, and stolzey takes down Rovaniik and Grapple in the process. Though, again, their healer alive, well, wasn't able to do much in terms of that damage onslaught happening.
Great Dread Serpents every single time here from Awry. They're just... It's hard to talk about him because he's so consistent with them. He hits them almost every time. 20% damage amp is the talking point about that ultimate. It's the little known kind of sprinkles on top for that ultimate.
Big sprinkles.
And with Bitey and stolzey being there to follow up, I mean, Victor already just does so much damage, and he's hitting his grenades every time. He's finding the damage amp. With the Dread Serpent amp on top of that, there is so much burst damage coming off the back of those
That's
ults.
his legendary. You have Victor's 20% down iron sights. That's he basically gets to season 1 before anybody else with that.
And he's leading the damage charts there with stolzey, 44 and 42. Leaps and bounds, frankly, ahead of this Drogos, more than double the damage of the Dragon here, who is struggling to find that value, some of that damage here to get that Dragon Punch charged up.
Great shots by Bitey. 2 grenades means potentially about 1,500 damage each time he's just done to that team. It's forced them back. It's a lot out of their health pool despite getting healed up by the Ying. And then just these open lines of sight. Bitey finds Rovaniik as well with some excellent tracking. It's a very quick positioning just to get to the left-hand side again. Remember, he had the same exact moment last map, and it was PrinceDannyTV on the Shaolin who shut him down with a quick planted. But now no one is even able to get near to him. These grenades
These are so troll.
doing so much work with the Grenadier card resetting the ability for him to throw it depending on how many enemies he hits each time he throws his grenade, almost guaranteeing 2 grenades in a row there. 90% for Eager. It's pretty much done and dusted here. This is a 3-0.
Bitey is loving this game right now. He loves Victor. I'm sure he's just having a blast here, just left-clicking people, uncontested all game long. The barrage is here. The Grenadiers are great. And it's a card that works similar to Masterful. Victor's a character we don't see as often as Drogos, but Masterful is the card that resets the cooldown based on how many people. And Grenadier works exactly the same. So he gets 4 seconds off the 8-second cooldown of Grenade for every champion that hits. That's why you see him throw them back-to-back when he hits 2 or more champions. But the card itself has a 5-second, I believe, internal cooldown, so he can only get 1 reset per fight, really.
And that means a lot, though. I mean, you just think of the damage. If he's hitting 2 people, it's 1,500 damage each time. So it's basically 3K that you're just plopping out right away, especially for those tanks that like to go to the point. I would have thought ElZulu and AGG in this kind of a team, Nick, without the flanking pressure, would use more of the initial phase of this fight to have Makoa flank and really just kind of clump up and really go after the back line, get a hook onto Bitey, and see if they can start things out that way.
That's how a lot of teams play it, and that's what I'm saying. That's what needs to happen. Somebody has to shut down Bitey. He's just farming damage in the back line. Eager take that extremely quickly, and it's just off the back of not enough pressure on these backliners. stolzey, he was up there in the mix a little bit more, but still getting a lot of damage done. But Bitey here is, that's the big no-no, just to leave Victor's and Kinessa's alone, free-firing under zero pressure. He's going to be hitting all of his shots.
Stuff of nightmares.
You look at the first game where Z1 Unknown was playing Victor, how much pressure he was under and just wasn't able to do anything. That's where you need to put, that's the situation you have to put Victor in if you don't want to see him succeed. 65K for both of those backliners for Eager.
And it's very fundamental. And as we head into the next map, so I guess we can kind of talk about this. I'll bring this up. It's very fundamental when you look at drafting and the way that this game was designed, that each class is needed. Each class is an inherent counter as we head into the champion draft. Jaguar Falls will be where we play. Each champion is, that class is inherent counter to another class. With the damage class, you need flankers to be able to aggress onto them. Otherwise, that damage is just damage you can't really contest. I think that there's a bit of a, with some of the janky ways teams draft, there's a bit of a forgetfulness that, like, we need a flanker. We have to actually be able to aggress on their back line. Drogos is not a flanker. He can maybe be played that way. Bomb King maybe can shift, but there's kind of like a propensity for AGG to not really, in that last game at least, have anybody who can fill that role. And that's a role that if you don't have, you're going to be screwed.
Yeah, that careful game of rock, paper, scissors.
Exactly.
Eager with the Maldamba Fernando answering back on the Makoa. So AGG, we are on Jaguar Falls again, so the double frontliner does work here. It works well. No Drogos just yet. So they have the opportunity to go into that, but they would rather get the comfort picks online, it looks like. And Androxus, I think, is better on Jaguar than he is on Stone Keep. There are a lot more line of sight breaks for Androxus to get up and around and work with, as opposed to some of the longer lines of sights around the point on Stone Keep.
Yeah, and admittedly, I think Androxus is a good pick for AGG. I think it gets Prince Danny comfortable. I mean, he can play the Shaolin, sure, but I think it just gets him on a real nice comfort pick. It gives him the flank pressure. They have the damage. This is a good draft. They've basically got the three classes they know they need and are going to be highly contested. I like that. Now, Eager themselves find more of a tankier composition in the backline as well. Cassie, she's got some aggressiveness she can use, and really kind of the onus at this point is for AGG to bring something that can affect the point, but also prove to be a traditional damage perspective. That's where Bomb King comes from. I actually like this draft for AGG in terms of who they've got on their roster.
But they do leave the Eevee open for ShadeeyShades, and he had a phenomenal game on it on Stone Keep. And Eevee's a character that excels well on Jaguar for the same reasons that Androxus does. Well, a lot of line of sight breaks, not a lot of ways to poke her out, and frankly, Androxus and Eevee can go either way, but those two characters probably won't be in the same vicinity. They'll be in each other's backlines for the most part. Shaolin, it's basically if Shaolin hits the Impaler Arrow, then he wins the fight. If he doesn't, then ShadeeyShades is probably going to take him out.
Yeah, and that's important to be aware of as we head into this next one. It's going to be potentially game 3 and 3-0 for Eager if they're able to win this one. AGG trying to claw their way back any way they can. Bitey will be playing the Ruckus. They'll start with Kronos. Cassie on the stolzey on Cassie. Awry on Maldamba. Wi-Fi on Fernando. And ShadeeyShades will be on Eevee.
But these look like some very comfortable picks from AGG as well. You got Danny on Andro, Bubble on Ying, Rovaniik on Bomb King, Grapple on Shaolin, and ElZulu on Makoa. So finally, I feel like just a very comfortable draft here from AGG. This is the game, I think, where they turn it around.
They're looking to make an impact early on. Bitey on the Ruckus, won't take the aggression on the point. This is a very good tactic for a lot of teams. Just wait. Just try and poke out their enemies to where now they're on the defensive and they're under pressure with you having full health and on the objective. They can still win a fight against a half-health opponent who's aggressing onto them. But look at this. Rovaniik, two clear bombs onto Bitey, and that just allows Grapple to finish him off quickly. Incredible play by Rovaniik, and this Bomb King, if he gets the look onto Eevee, he's going to finish her off with no second thought. He is absolutely a monster, but look at that. Wow. ShadeeyShades gets the better of the trade. Pops Rovaniik in the back. PrinceDannyTV didn't expect such a blink from ShadeeyShades, but again, he's keeping his winning ways on that Eevee.
Moving back in now is Bitey. Almost all tied up here on the point. 2 kills for nothing for Eager, though, as they make their way back onto the point. Danny go for the Defiance. Misses one of the shots, just forced to get over the wall. But Rovaniik, that's just so much damage. Tries to Poppy Bomb stolzey off of the map. The dodge roll is going to be good, and the follow-up is here. Eager just eking their way out on top of these team fights. ElZulu is going to try to get here on the point. He will shell spin in time Gonna box out with Bitey here, but Ruckus is gonna win that 1v1 trade.
Bad
10 times
spot.
out of 10.
Gets stunned. Gonna be very, very unlikely that AGG can find themselves back here. The zone coming out from Fernando. Wi-Fi doing a great job of this, but there's the Grumpy Bomb, and now that Rovaniik's back, there's gonna be a lot of pressure on here. That's gonna give some potential zone to AGG. Some zone they may need. A big reversal coming out. No. The damage from Fernando will help to clean up PrinceDannyTV as well as stolzey with the finishing touches, and Wi-Fi will head back. Fernando staying alive yet again. And the Gord coming from Awry, playing out of his mind on that Moldava.
Gonna be able to get him healed up as well, topped off. It's good for his ultimate charge as well, getting the last 10% on his Dread Serpent there with all that healing done. Rovaniik doesn't get quite over the wall. He's gonna be pressured out in a big way. Wi-Fi looking for that dot damage to take down the King, and he will. 2 for 1 right now. Eager lead this team fight here, but still a long way to go on this payload push, so not all lost just yet for AGG.
And with 1 minute and 52 seconds, they've got plenty of time, both teams, to make sure their offense works and to make sure the defense stays strong. This is an important point for both teams, looking to find just crucial picks, wanting to maybe get a tank out, maybe get a crucial damage dealer that can help relieve some pressure on the push. Defensively also looking to really take the front line down, meaning they don't have the sustain. Even if they have the 1v1s, they trade out, they stay low. They don't have someone who can consistently keep that objective moving, and that's usually the tank up in front. But it's Wi-Fi who's actually now aggressing onto the back line. Awry now going to get the pressure of Rovaniik, but he's been playing so well, I wouldn't be surprised it is. Awry wins the trade and escapes with his life on top of it.
Gets 1v1 by the Maldama. It's not, I mean, 450 a shot. It's, think of a Maeve hitting every other knife in your face there. The supports do damage in Paladins. They are not anything to sniff at. That one in particular, the Ying, can pump out a little bit more than people are used to. stolzey about to roll in here. 50 seconds remain for Eager. One more team fight could get them there, but the payload is still a decent ways off, where Eager are going to have to find some convincing wins in these fights if they want to find this payload converted.
Rovaniik with 2. stolzey somehow makes it alive. Makes it out alive after getting impaled by Shaolin with such low health, and picks up a couple of his own. Wi-Fi. Fernando shield up and moving forward. stolzey still alive. ShadeeyShades with the Ice Storm, but look at this. He's going to go down thanks to Grapple. However, Wi-Fi will clean up Grapple, and Rovaniik will find a kill of his own onto Wi-Fi. Awry is here. Can he 3v8 or 5v2? He's just all by himself, and he needs to make sure that he can get it, but he's gotten 3 himself here, and he's put a lot of pressure onto these people. Can he hit the stun? He hits it! Oh, Rovaniik goes down thanks to ShadeeyShades. Awry still alive. I can't believe it. Immortal is here. This could mean the push for Team Eager.
Ancient Rage is here, though, trying to stabilize things for Team AGG. So much damage coming out from both squads right now. 10,000 HP proves to be superior as the Turtle is still alive, just now going down, but a King Bomb stuns out Wi-Fi on the point with a less than 1,000 health. The Ruckus has returned as well. Bitey, oh my God, all this covering fire coming through, and Awry is back. That's never good for your chances.
Oh my God, overtime is here. Awry cleans up PrinceDannyTV, but the overtime will tick away. Awry out of his mind, but unfortunately not enough for Team Eager to finish things off and make it 2-0. AGG holds strong and tie things up 1-1 here.
Phenomenal round coming out from the support player there from Eager. I didn't realize Bitey was there. I thought he was just going for the 1v2 with that Dread Serpent there. 1,400 credits for him. He got his ultimate charged back up to 63%, so he's finding a lot of good damage in these team fights. So definitely these are the difference makers support here. You see Bubble Boy weaving in and out of his clones, takes out stolzey in the 1v1 on Stone Keep. You see Awry not afraid to go for those 1v2 scenarios, trading out with the Bomb King favorably in a one-on-one scenario as well. These are the impacts of plays that really will help the support players really separate, you know, the good teams from the pack.
AGG finding some damage onto ShadeeyShades, but not enough to really keep him at bay. And look at these blinks. Oh, the Poppy Bomb and the Ice Block together will send him immune and in the air. And Rovaniik will go back to base thanks to the aggressive play from Wi-Fi. Whenever a fight's happening, he just shows up and adds that extra 400 to 800 damage that ends up giving his flanker and damage dealer the advantage. Awry healing up his teammates on the right-hand side with a Gourd and Mending Spirits to boot. Grumpy Bomb off, goes onto the zone, forcing them just off the objective for a little bit. And now Bitey goes back on, making sure he gets an extra 9, 12, 15% on the objective so he can take the lead for his team. And that's going to be it. Eager 2-1 without even a contest by AGG.
No answer there. No way to get back on. Just that solo frontliner. And a big problem here is I feel stolzey's escaping with, you know, less than 100 HP in a lot of these situations and coming back to have the impact. They need to have that finisher, right? PrinceDanny needs to be able to find his way into the backline. Rovaniik's doing a fair job of it as well. The Ice Storm just to confirm the kill on the Grapple. Eager want to keep this momentum high as they push out of this payload.
Should have hit the spray there, man, because, you know, that was a solo ult if I've ever seen one. Just wants Grapple out of the fight, but don't go down with him. He's going to use the ice block very instinctively, but he finishes off the kill. ShadeeyShades, again, been a high performer for this squad. Nice shot out of the air. ShadeeyShades with the mid-flight direction adjustment, going to give himself a chance at getting a double kill here. Hit 788 on one of the pop shots in the back. He might blink again. It is available, and now he's focusing on Bubble Boy. Blinking back because he doesn't have a clean shot, but he wants to pressure the front liner who just falls. ElZulu has nowhere to turn. Another Dread Serpent from Awry should clean things up, and that's 3-1. Eager look in control of this game now. They are steamrolling.
A lot of momentum on their side. 3-1 situation here for Eager. 2 ultimates spent for the conversion, though, so only Scout and Immortal heading into this final round, but just so many credits on the side of Eager. They're leading in the net worth chart in a big way, I feel here. stolzey with 900 in hand with the Cauterized 3 online, Wi-Fi with the Cauterized 3 online, and the Rejuvenate 2. So they're beating back a lot of this pressure from only the Cauterized 2s from PrinceDanny and Bubble Boy. That's 60% anti-healing. The Rejuvenate going to cancel out 20 of that, putting it at an even 40%. So it's going to be very difficult. You know, 60% is when you really start to feel the Cauterize, and 90 is obviously incredibly impactful. But around, you know, 50 and lower with those Rejuvenates online, Maldampa's pumping out enough healing to where it's going to have an impact. It's going to swing the fight in the favor of Eager.
Absolutely, and you see here the reveal comes out from Cassie. stolzey activating that to allow him to have some CC immunity as Cassie. Most people forget about that part, but it also gives his team vision.
Nice
Awry,
combo.
he's not forgetting about anything, keeping the kills coming his way despite being a support champion. We all forgot here in the studio because he is going crazy on that Maldampa, picking up kills and playing offensive in people's faces, and he's not even running the deft hands cheese build. He's actually hitting these very long reloads. Bubble Boy and ElZulu fall. stolzey on a 12 streak now. He anticipating the wormhole possibly, but she's not going to go. But actually, no, he knows that his teammate just came from that fight. So PrinceDanny locked in with the Ice Storm is going to fall.
stolzey just having one of those games as well where I feel like he's not under a ton of pressure right now. He's getting these long streaks. He's getting out a lot of times with very little HP and coming back into fights. Eager
Feels good, man.
They come back into that fight. AGG had a great start to it. They had a Grumpy Bomb that they dredge anchored Bitey's Ruckus directly into, so he got stunned out, forced the Immortal to come out as well. So they had a great start to the fight, but just weren't able to follow through. They weren't able to really just punch through Eager's defense.
And here are the stats.
Yeah, look at stolzey. One of those games, 72K on the Cassie, 30 and 5, 15 streak for the kid.
Pretty impressive stuff coming out from Eager as well. I mean, the synergy, and we talked about Awry. He was my kind of storyline for that game. Some incredible plays in that last part. I mean, even the fact that he was able to stall that payload for so long, I think it was just a very good showcase of what he was bringing to the table as a top-tier healer. Astral Authority, they have a top-tier healer as well. His name's Cuss Cutie. In fact, he used to play on the same team as stolzey for Match Point. Disbanded now, but it's going to be exciting to see those teams battling back together. It's essentially Match Point from the past facing off with, you know, stolzey's new and what he hopes is an improved squad, saying, hey, did you make the right choice in leaving, or should you have stuck with your boys?
We'll have to see here as we get into the finals for the North American Open Qualifiers. But before you do that, make sure you're downloading the PTS, hanging out, playing with the legendaries, figuring out what you want to go for once those bad boys go live.
I never know which direction it's going to be down there. So
it's all mirrored.
It's all mirrored.
Come to me.
Come to me. Guys, we'll see you in just a second. It's the finals. It's going to be great here in North America. Let's see if stolzey's going to come out on top or if Wardoom, Cuss, Dose, and the boys will find some victory this weekend. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes.